great lesson for me. You know, and making that choice to get in that car kind of changed my life. These drums here was something I was found at a young age, about 11 years old. I had y'all heard of a paper route? I got a paper route to buy my first set of drums when I was about 10 years old. Prior to that, while I was playing, learning how to play, I'm totally self-taught as a player, as a drummer. But I found passion in these things, and it was kind of my lifeline to the world, you know, because I found something that I could get something back very positive. And after I got my first set of drums, when I was playing and I ended up with this situation where I was coming out of juvenile hall, I started playing with these guys that were older than me. They were about in their 20s. And I was, again, not doing well in that situation because they were partying, and so I had to let that go. I got out of juvenile hall, I cleaned up all my stuff, and I just started really working hard at showing up into a lot of situations and things that I had been asked to do over the years. And today, the band Tesla, like I said, has been together 34. Did you see the picture at the end? I'm 17 years old. Did you see that up there? I was not graduating. I'm in the middle of my senior year, and I had an opportunity to go play some music, and I took it, and I moved, and I was out in Memphis for about 6 months. I came back, and I started recording at a young age, and I made my first record at about 23. You know, so I've been professionally doing this for a little while now. I'm gonna be 60 years old in October. So, thanks, yeah. I'm not sure how I feel about that, but I guess I'm grateful. Just looking over the years of taking these opportunities that I've had, I've been thrusted in a lot of situations that really scared me, but I just would say yes. Now it's a little bit different the way I do things in life. I've taken all that energy and I've put it towards all the good stuff that comes at me, and sometimes, I don't know how many of you might relate to this, but I mean, I've been afraid of the world, it seems like, since I was a kid. It just seemed like I was just afraid of everything that was coming at me, and I still am kind of that way. This makes me nervous. I'm not real, you know, I mean, I think about these things. This was not me growing up. I never got in front of anybody. My probably worst fear in the world was to get up and speak in front of somebody. But see, I have a purpose today, so that's why I'm here, because it's not about me, it's about all of you. And what I could share with you and hopefully resonate maybe a couple things, the things that are happening in the schools today. I'm watching all the social media stuff happen. I see all the bullying stuff happen. I got friends that have committed suicide over drugs. You know, I've seen pretty much everything across the board. I talked to my daughter, she's 16 years old. I talked to her, she's in New York, and I talked to her for about a half an hour this morning. And she was sharing with me, she didn't want to go to school tonight. And she had 3 girls that were bullying her, and she has no one to go to. She can't go to the office. She don't know how to deal with that situation. And I just felt so hopeless that I really didn't know how to even address that, what I could say that would give her comfort. I said, all I could say is, Skylar, how long has this been going on? She said, it's been going on for a while. I said, she goes, I'm not afraid of her. She's a 2nd degree black belt. So she probably could take care of herself, but she knows better. She doesn't, she's never had a confrontation ever. She's never hit anybody. And I would never encourage that. I just said, so have they tried to hit you? She says, no, they've not. I said, so this has been going on for a while, so these are just threats. They're bully situations, okay? If nobody's come up and hit you at this point, you're probably okay. Just completely ignore them as you have been, and that's all I could say to her. You know, I don't know what you kids have going on in this school, but I know we're kids. We go through life. We have things that happen, you know, and there's a lot of situations that we just don't want to be in, you know, or maybe we don't want to be confronted. And by a show of hands, how many can relate to what I'm saying? Okay, so there's a few of us, and it's not easy to just come out and raise our hands, especially when I say, hey, how many of you are smoking pot? I didn't expect anyone to really raise their hand, but, you know, I do know where it started for me, and it led to harder drugs. The drug that took me out was cocaine, okay? That drug, when I got introduced to it, that was the one drug that actually got a hold of me. All the other stuff I was doing over the years and partying with friends and doing things and the things I didn't like, but once I got introduced to that drug, and it was a social thing at the time, you know, but that's the one that got a hold of me. Now, we have all the pharmaceuticals, because everybody in this room's done drugs, even if it's prescription. Yeah, I would have to say, okay, I could be wrong, but let me ask you this. By the show of hands, who's done prescription drugs for a cold?